unlike other guests, I need to ask you from the very basic questions because most of our listeners haven't heard your story yet, neither do I. So we need to start asking some really stupid question, but we need to ask it. For example, when did you start playing football and how did you fall in love with the game and become a football player? We need to hear those questions, although it sounds a bit stupid actually.
No, it's not stupid. The first question is, when did I start playing?
Yeah, because other guests will not need to answer these questions.
Yeah. I would say around 4 years old. I actually started playing because of with my dad. My father,
Okay.
he used to just throw me the balls every Sunday. We would just kick together, and then I started to play. In Hong Kong, you have the public parks.
Yeah.
The hard courts. So
Okay.
every Sunday I would go and play. I would be the guaylo that play with all the local guys. That's how I started to play football.
Where were you living in Hong Kong at
I
that
was
moment?
in Pok Fulam.
Okay.
So I
Because
played in
most
the Pok Fulam Park, the public park.
okay, that's new because most of the players are living in the islands and
Mm.
the foreign players I mean.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. And they because I have another interview series before and they told me we play in Discovery Bay or something like that.
No, no. I was in Pok Fulam
How often do you play football at the beginning before you join any academy?
every day. Every
Okay,
day.
every day.
Yeah. Well, I was the type of boy that I would go to school, and then after school I get changed and I go and play football. That was my life, just playing football.
Will you play? Do you often score goals when you're playing street footballs?
No, actually, when I was younger, I was actually a defensive midfielder. So I like to tackle.
Okay.
I like to tackle. I like to hit people. So this was me when I was younger.
Okay. Do you think because you have a physical advantage against the local players or
No, no, no. I don't
no?
know. I don't know why. It was nothing to do. This is what I like to do when I was younger. It's just
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. When did you start having proper training in an academy in Hong Kong?
Uh, I mean, I used to play for like small academies, but not not really like structured academies. The first time I was like in a proper academy was when I first joined the Kichi
Okay.
Academy. But before I was at an academy called Hong Kong Football Academy. I don't know if it still
Okay.
exists. I don't know.
I think so because I saw the advertisement in
Uh,
Facebook the other day.
so that's where I started in Hong Kong Football Academy. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the days in the Kichis Academy because last series we have Jay Hado who played in the Kichi Academy.
Mm,
So he really enjoyed his time, but he left Kichi Academy at 14 years old in order to play in the Blackburn Academy.
mm.
So how would you describe your experience in Kichi's Academy?
Well, actually, I remember because when I first joined the Kichi Academy, what happened was there was a. I don't think Kichi had an academy before,
Okay,
and I remember there was like an announcement that said that they were gonna do a trial match, like a trial for all the kids to come and play football, and then they will pick out the best ones to join the academy. So
okay,
I remember I went there, and it was at the time when Kichi was. I think they had a partnership with Barcelona.
okay.
Yeah. So when I found out that they wanted to take me into the Kichi Academy, honestly, it was an amazing experience to play with the Kichi Academy because I was playing already with my childhood friends. The coaching was very good. Coach Alex was my coach uh,
Okay.
when I was 13.
The one who is the head coach of first team right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And often we would get foreign coaches coming, so it was very good training, very very good training.
Okay. So I saw some videos of the Kichi Academy now. The teams are leading by some first team players. Did you have any chance to like meet the first team players, chat with them, or play against them when you were there?
I mean, I remember. I think Alex Akande sometimes would coach me.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the. He's part of the coaching staff now at Kichi, but I forgot his name. He would sometimes coach us. So a lot of the players would come down and the first team players would come down and coach us.
Okay. And how does it feel when the first team players come down to coach you or guide you?
Oh, but it's very unique because for us they were professionals. So you want to learn. I remember I would ask a lot of questions to these players because they are professionals. They were where I wanted to be. So it was nice.
Uh, I don't know how is the situation back then because I think Kichi now the academy team plays every day, unlike the other teams in Hong Kong football. Does
Mm.
you guys play train every day back then?
When I was at the Kichi Academy, was totally different than now. I think now the Kichi they have their own training ground, the training
Yeah.
facility. When I was playing, I think we would train twice or three times a week,
Okay.
and every time the training would be in a different place because there was no pitch for us. So
All right.
the coach would message us, okay, today we will train here. Today we will train here. It's not as organized as it is now.
Okay. Now because Kichi has their own training ground, Liman is building their own training ground,
Yeah,
and
which is good. It's very good.
yeah, and Eastern is using a football field from a university. So do you
Yeah.
think this kind of training grounds that the different teams are building right now can help a lot with the young players as well, beside the professional players?
Of course, of course. I mean, if you are lucky that you're a young player and you have your own training facilities, coaches, you train almost every day, it can only be an advantage, you know.
Okay. So for you, was it trouble to find the training grounds as the training grounds are different every day back then?
Uh, Not really because, like I told you, I was playing in the Kichi Academy with my best friends. So
Okay.
I was lucky that we would either go together with the MTR, or maybe one of their parents would drive us. So no, it was never very really a hassle. It was okay.
Okay, because last time it was not about the academy, but one of the players, other teams, they
Yeah.
don't have the training ground because now only Kichi has it because Neiman is building it. They don't have it
Mm.
right now. And they told me they're having trouble to find the training grounds
Oh, okay.
because he
Yeah,
was a Brazilian and when he first arrived Hong Kong, he doesn't speak much English. So
yeah, yeah.
it was a funny story. Okay, so after Kichi Academy, I read your transfer record in the transfer market because I couldn't find much information really.
Mm.
So I have to ask you every information, unlike the other guesses that maybe Toby Down or Gerard Loom, everybody already know his story and we can ask something different. But I noticed you try a couple teams in the academy in Italy and Espanyol in Spain.
Mm. Yeah.
How was that experience and how did you find those teams?
What is the question? Which team?
Espanyol, how did you get in contact with them and how did you
Oh, but
come to Spain?
how I got to Spain. Oh, but
Yeah.
that's because I left Hong Kong when I was 13 and I
Okay.
signed for Espanyol when I was 16. So, uh, how to say? I have to start a little bit earlier. I have to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
from the
Because
beginning.
according to Wikipedia and also the transfer record, I couldn't find much information about it.
So basically, what happened was when I left the Kichi Academy, I had the opportunity to go and have a trial at Inter Milan.
Okay.
Inter. And so I went to Inter and I did a 1 week 1 week trial. They asked me to come back in the summer, and I did another trial. At the end, they didn't take me, but
Okay.
they asked me. They said they kind of like loaned me to one of their feeder clubs in Italy to
Okay.
say, to get more experience, to play in Europe, to get stronger, to get, to develop. And so I played in one of the feeder clubs of Inter for 2 years. Then I joined Lugano, the Swiss
Yes.
team, when I was 15.
Okay.
And then from there, that's when I got the opportunity to go to Espanyol.
Okay. That's mean the transfer record is wrong that I found
Yeah,
because I searched that you went to Espanyol first and then to
no,
Lugano.
no. I was in Lugano twice.
Okay. They
But
didn't mention it, so
but it's true. Sometimes I also look at my transfer market, and a lot of things is not true. So
okay. Sometimes the players told me the birthday are wrong because I sometimes send some happy birthday to the players and then they told me it's wrong. I'm
yeah,
not. I didn't get older today or something like that.
yeah,
So that's why we need to do interviews because the things in the internet are not always correct.
yeah. It's true.
Okay, so you went to Switzerland in Lugano. So how was the Lugano experience felt?
Oh, well, it was very good. It uh, it was nice. It was because in Lugano they speak. It's like the Italian part of Switzerland. So
Yeah.
since I'm half Italian, it was very easy for me to adapt because they speak Italian. So it was very nice, and the football was great. So I loved it. I really liked it there, and
Okay.
then it gave me the chance to to train, and it gave me the chance to join Espanyol 1 year later. So
Okay.
yeah.
How was the academies from Lucano Espanol different from Hong Kong? Do they provide more service, or does the were the training ground much more developed?
Yeah, I mean, in Europe, the compared to when I was in Hong Kong, the facilities they're much better. You have multiple pitches. Maybe for each team you have the head coach, the fitness coach, the goalkeeper coach, the assistant coach. So it's completely different, and also the level when of European football was higher than when I was in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong.
Okay. Do, do you need to cook your own food, or the team will provide all your food throughout the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
So when I was in Italy and in Switzerland, I was living in like a dormitory
Okay.
with other football players. So I had to cook. I had to learn how to cook my own food.
Okay.
uh, yeah, I had to learn how to cook my own food, to wash the clothes, all that. And then when I went to Espanyol, they had a system where they provide you the food. You have a canteen. They wash your clothes. So yeah.
Okay. I visited Lugano once last year and I found the price was really crazy. They had to have a meal or something. Did you experience that when you were there?
Yeah, it's crazy. I compared to everywhere else in Europe, is I think is double the price. So, but I was still young, so I was not really spending any money.
Okay.
I was just going to school, playing football. So I was still too young. So yeah,
Okay. Because I was traveling around there for 2 days and 8 days of Italy and
yeah,
2 days of Lugano cost much more than 8 days of Italy,
yeah. It's too
which doesn't make
expensive.
any sense for me.
Too expensive.
Okay, so let's talk about the professional career after the academies because we are almost out of time of the podcast. So why did you decide to play in Singapore later? How did you went to Singapore from Lugano and Espanyol, like teams in
Uh,
Europe?
So I was before I went to Singapore, I was playing in Italy in Verona,
Okay.
and so I was like in the period of going to the first team, or in Verona, they would also the ones who will not make it to the first team in Serie A.
Okay.
The team will send normally the players out on loan to third division, fourth division. So at the time, my parents both live in Singapore, So
Okay.
when I got the opportunity to go to Singapore, I said to myself, do I want to play in fourth division in Italy, or do I want to try a new experience and play in Singapore? So it was a decision I made. I don't know if it was the best decision of my life, but I have to assume my responsibilities, and so that's why I decided to go to Singapore for family reasons and also a new experience.
What do you think about the league level in Singapore after you were playing there? Because I couldn't find the stats of you playing in Singapore actually.
Uh, so the first year went very well. I scored a few goals. Second year was tough. I had a few injuries, but overall in Singapore, I love Singapore. Singapore is like a second home also for me. But honestly, adapting to Singapore was hard for me. The football. When you come from Europe, the European academies, and then you go to Singapore, it's not very easy. It's not so easy, but it was an experience, and you know I have to assume the responsibilities.
Do you think the rhythm of the game in Singapore is faster than Hong Kong or not?
I don't know because Hong Kong,
Okay.
I have never experienced playing in Hong Kong, so I cannot say, but I don't know. I cannot answer that question.
Okay. So, do you feel Singapore? How would you describe the league in Singapore? Do you think it's physical or do you think it's quite relaxing to play there?
Uh, no, it's not. It's not easy to play because of the weather conditions. It's like
Okay.
that was very hard, especially when you're a foreigner. But of course, it's a league where it's not so physical. It's not very fast paced, but
Okay.
it's not easy. It's not that easy either. But uh, the pitches are not very good. But I don't know. I think it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the stadium were made with artificial grass.
Yeah, so it's either you
Okay.
play on artificial grass or you play on cow grass. It was like a very heavy type of grass.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I think the thing that was hard for me in Singapore was you play every team 3 times, and it was just
Okay.
you play everyone the same. It's always the same stadiums. It was a bit boring. No,
Okay.
no challenge really. Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of like Hong Kong league playing in Mongkok Stadium every week, right?
Yeah, I think it's tough. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think playing every team 3 times could be changed to other kind of system that could be more interesting or not?
But it's hard for countries like Hong Kong and Singapore that are not very big.
Yeah.
You what can you do unless you maybe integrate with maybe Hong Kong with the Chinese league or Singapore with the Malaysian league. But
Okay.
I don't know. It's up to the federations to decide.
Yeah. Because I think Singapore tried to integrate it to the Malaysian league before,
Yeah.
and it doesn't end well.
Mm, yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so that's about Singapore. So where are you exactly playing now? Because when I searched in the transfer market, I found you are playing in a French team, but there's almost no information about that team, and the information I found is in French, and when I translate it into Chinese or Spanish, it doesn't make any sense for me because the sentence is not a sentence. You know what I mean with Google Translate?
Okay. So basically, my last professional team. I was playing in Portugal, in the
Okay,
in the second division in Portugal. But then I actually decided to stop playing football. I actually decided I didn't want I stopped my career in a way
okay,
because I had some injuries and some personal issues. Uh, and then so I just decided to come back to my hometown, and from there I just decided to start playing again, but just for fun. So I'm now in a team. It's the fifth division of French football,
okay,
and it's the name of the club is called Quimper.
okay,
And it's just for me to play to get back playing football and enjoying football again. That's it.
Okay, because I think in Football Manager you are free agent right now in the game.
Yeah, because I'm not playing for a professional team anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you feel uh, disappointed or do you feel sad about it? You didn't play for any national team before.
Uh, no, I believe in life. God has a plan for all of us. So no, I don't feel disappointed. I assume all the choices I made. I have no regrets. And it's not totally out of the picture for me. I
Okay.
still think I still think I have a future in football. So let's see.
Okay, so you managed you like kind of left the professional football alone.
Yeah.
So do you have a full-time job now or you are just playing football part-time without doing anything else?
No, I'm playing football. So it's
Okay.
we still train 3 times a week and we play in a league. So I
Okay.
still play football, and I'm also starting my own business. That's why I'm in France. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of business are you starting?
It's a sports nutrition company, sports supplement.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's most of the players will start their own company, something related to sports after their career,
Yeah,
be-
yeah, yeah,
because that's the area you all know more about it, I think.
yeah, yeah.
So, regarding to the on.cc interview, I noticed that you said to them you have some contest with Alex Chu when you conducted that interview like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
What were you discussing about it? Because it doesn't write anything about what you guys have been contacted about.
No, I mean with Coach Alex, we always like even now he will send me messages to see how I'm doing. We always stay in touch because he's a great man and I respect him a lot.
Okay.
I saw him in December. We
Okay.
we we talk from time to time, and I won't say the things that we discuss, but but we talk a lot about Hong Kong football. Sometimes we talk about maybe one day if I want to come back to Hong Kong, or but we just stay in touch because he's someone who is very important for me, and he helped me a lot when I was a young boy. So I always appreciate him.
Okay. And that's our time here today. And
Okay.
really thank you very much for joining our podcast.